Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we are back.
And we're live. Why do I feel compelled to do that dude's voice every time we come back from break?
No.
Because it's such a good voice.
Yes, it is.
To be honest with you.
Yes.
Such a good voice. And we're having such a good show. We are learning so much today. If you want to call in and ask a question of our great guest, call in at 800-808-5548. We are here live to take your phone call.
And Joe, since you and thank you for this, you put together a great group today. I want you to go ahead and introduce our next one, because that was a great segue that they had. Lucas has had a mover, and guess what? He's in the studio.
We have a phenomenal mover. We only, as is historical of the show, we only bring on the best of the best.
Joe, thanks very much. I certainly appreciate that.
You bet. This is Bennie Guidry. Why don't you give the folks a little background on A Rocket Moving?
Well, first of all, A Rocket's been around 55 years.
Just a little while.
That should tell you something.
You
just
guys,
a little time.
Just a little time.
You guys have almost got it figured out.
And what we don't have figured out is not out there yet. All right. We're involved with the residential and the commercial, the industrial, institutional side of moving. We do everything from A to Z. And when I say that, I mean from packing to the actual move to unpacking if necessary. We'll do it in your home, no matter what level it is. If you're going from an apartment to a home, we'll go into your apartment, pack you up, move you out, get you into your new home, unpack you. You sit down and have a margarita during the period. Can't ask for much more.
That is
than
completely
I like
what I'd
that.
be
I think
doing.
we got the right mover here.
I think we definitely have the right move.
I
right
like
here.
where you're going with this.
Thank you.
Because that is totally how I would like to approach moving.
Well, let me tell you something.
I don't want to do anything when I move again.
It's important, though, that you get the right mover when you do move. And when I say that, you need to make certain that the person's licensed, all right, and they have all the proper documents. Someone has to come out to your home or your apartment to survey it, to make certain that they know what you're moving, know the circumstances around moving your items out of one location into another. All of those things are important. If somebody gives you a number over the telephone, beware.
Beware, yes.
Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Well, step us through that process, Benny. Is like, what are the questions that people forget to ask?
Oh, there's a tremendous number of questions. Number one, are you licensed? All right. Number two, you want to know if you're going to get a contract prior to your move. You want something in writing. You got to have something in writing before somebody comes into your home and picks up the first bit of your items. If you don't have those things, you just need to be aware.
So don't hire 3 dudes in a truck guy. Huh?
Well, let me.
I didn't say the other name.
Let me just put it this way. Mover beware. All right, and if you could easily go online, you can check through the Better Business Bureau. You can check through the Texas motor vehicle listings and find out who are the reputable movers out there. Just don't take the first person for $69 an hour, because you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get $69 an hour. And
you know what you're going to pay. You don't know what you're
you
going to get.
You don't know what you're going to pay at the end. So just beware.
And you mentioned something very, very important right there. I tell everybody all the time is always beware. The one thing that I am very cognizant of is never call up somebody and say, what is your price on the phone? If someone gives me a price on the phone without knowing exactly what they're trying to move or what they're providing, guess what? It's probably not a service I'm going to be very happy with.
Exactly.
And that goes for real estate, that goes for moving, that goes for everything that you do business in the world. I tell everybody is, while I love technology, I'm a huge Facebook guy.
Right.
I love the internet. I love Googling everything, right? I will still not do business with anybody unless I get to meet them face to face.
That's very important.
And that's not only what I provide, but that's also individuals providing service to me. And so I love the philosophy of sitting down and meeting with somebody and saying, if you're just going to get something on the phone, guess what? I'm probably not your guy. But if you want me to sit down and truly do a better job, because, when you're moving, you're bringing people into somebody's home, packing up loved and valuable items.
Chris, you're so correct.
And those are things that you can't really take lightly.
Yeah.
And individuals, who've accumulated a lot of let's say, love sakes or keepsakes over that period of time, want to make sure those are valued items that they're well taken care of, that the individual going in and out of their home are going to well take care of them of what they've preserved over that period of time.
Exactly. You got to just beware of the people that come into your home. First of all, take time and do some homework before somebody just comes into your home and does evaluation of anything. You got to be conscious of what you're doing the moving process. It's extremely important. We have all sorts of tools that we provide to our client base, so the moving process goes very smoothly. That's what we want to make certain, that everything happens first of all, in a timely manner. It happens without cause, and if we're human, should something happen, we are there to stand by it.
Right.
And that's important. You've got to have somebody that's willing to take responsibility.
I would absolutely agree. And I like the fact that you said that we're all human. One of the things is, you're absolutely right. It's the ability to step up and say, I'm sorry, I'll make it right.
Exactly.
We're all going to make mistakes. It's
Exactly.
how you stand up to those mistakes that are a true measure of a person.
Exactly.
I once heard a friend of mine, we were actually at a music concert, but he said something that was rather genius at a very young age that I've always kind of latched onto. We had watched two musicians perform, and they were both just stellar musicians. But from a technical standpoint, one of them had a little bit of a flub during the performance, and it was very minor. And so after the concert, I was talking to my friend, and I said, I think so and so was better. And he kind of took his time, and he paused for a second. He goes, yeah, technically, I think you're right. But sometimes the true test of genius is how you recover.
Exactly.
And I was like,
I like that.
Good Lord, that was awesome. That was so profound. And it's true, because you can practice something and get it down and do that. And there's certain skill involved in that, obviously, and do it well. But it's the times when you flub, when you have that little error, the class and the skill with which you recover and rise to excellence again is really a powerful testimony to greatness.
I think I think it's very important on the front end, though, Joe, to be able to, when you go into a situation where you're going to move somebody from point A to point B, is to make certain that you have all the proper equipment and tools. I mean, so that you're wrapping the furniture like it should be wrapped. You're padding it, you're shrink wrapping it, you're moving it with care. And when a client sees that done, a lot more confidence is built at that point. So when we go in, that's exactly what we do.
I would have to imagine in moving, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure is
God,
probably an overstatement of the year.
You're so correct. You're so correct.
So we got a situation right now. We have a market right now that we have where people are putting their house on the market. They want to buy a new house.
Right.
It sells the first day they have it on the market. Mm-hmm.
On a 15-day contract.
And they have to get out in 30 or 45 days. But their new house isn't going to be ready for maybe 3, 4, 6 months. What do you do?
Well, we have
eBay.
Well, we have the ability to store items for you. In other words,
where I was going with that.
You can we can take your items, bring them into storage for you, stage them, make certain that they're there when you're ready to go into your new home. That's pretty much something that we do on a routine basis.
You were saying earlier this morning before we got on the air that you had like an 80,000 square foot warehouse.
Our warehouse space is about 80,000 square feet.
And it stays full most of the time.
Yeah, especially during the summer months. It stays full more often than not. But we have a lot of off-site opportunities that we work with a lot of individuals so that we can get their items in the warehouse space for the short period of time.
Well, that's a logistic issue we're having right now, because and of course Lucas is going to attest to the fact that they take a listing that sells quickly, and all of a sudden, like, where do we put these people? And they have any place to go. Sometimes.
That comes up quite often. And over the past, I guess, year, we've seen a lot of people having to move out of their homes because the homes have sold quicker than they thought they would. There's a lot of that going on. So we try to help out the client as much as possible and offer as many options that we have available to us to them to make the move real smooth.
How fast can you, let's say someone called today and said, hey, I need to get you out here. I need to move ASAP.
Well, that's a little issue. I'll be honest with you, because there's a lot of that going on.
Right.
What we try to do is stage our moves a day, maybe 2 days out. All right, our schedule at least 2 days out on moves like that. We can accommodate you, but it's a part of fitting you in.
Absolutely.
How much lead time would you recommend?
Our normal lead time on something like that would be 48 hours.
Oh, that's not,
That's still not bad.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
So you wouldn't take
But
the
we
call.
like to talk to you a lot sooner because we got to send somebody out there. We've got to send a client, one of our reps out there to do an evaluation to find out exactly what's going on. So all of that's part of the process.
Hey, the feds have found where I'm at, and I need to move pretty quick.
Well,
He need to move too.
we
He be riding with you.
we have a nice new cell for you, and you won't need any furniture there. So.
And by the way, can you pack up the Ferrari?
oh yeah, we'll take it all.
How long can you keep the Ferrari in storage?
As long as you can pay for it.
Of course, Ferraris have to be driven, so every once in a while you have to take it out.
That's terrible. Hey, Benny, I want to make sure folks that are listening out there that are getting ready to move know how to track you guys down, to get an estimate, to get a quote, that sort of thing.
Actually, you can call our office. It's 713-748-6024, and we'll probably transfer you over to one of our able relocation consultants, and they'll take care of you immediately.
That sounds good. Well, for everybody listening, we're coming up on the bottom of the break. If you want to give us a call, you can reach us at 8.
Almost did it again, huh?
We've been doing this how long, and you still don't know the phone number.
And see what happens. I'm sitting in front of this screen that actually has the whole number written across there, and that just completely threw me off.
Well, the funniest part was you used to say 800. That's 800.
Don't try this at home, folks. We are professionals. 800-808-5548, 800-808-5548, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, madam, with you. My heart won't let my feet do things that they should do. You know what? You're lovely. You know what? You're so lovely.